Hey everyone, it's Alex Moriarity here. Just wanted to check in with you guys today. Working on some music, some production. Been producing a bunch lately with the new Unison plugins, a couple of the chord packs, some loop packs, bunch of different drum kits. Been having a lot of fun with all of it and been making a ton of awesome music, a bunch of different genres and editing things, at the click of a button, just in a flash. Pretty much waited a really long time to get into producing. And I just wanted to mention that the Unison plugins and what they offer has been making it really easy and just pretty much streamlines the production work when I am making anything that has to do with music, sound engineering, even editing up some clips, mainly just hip hop beats though. So I've been doing just about a beat a day, and the purpose of that being that I'm trying to knock out about um, you know, once a day at least for as long as I can, stay motivated on this to be getting in a better workflow, getting faster at making beats, and just basically allowing myself to get out of my comfort zone of, not being able to add something else into my daily tasks. As far as time, I got a lot of extra time during my day, whether it's at night. And I just want to basically make sure I'm utilizing all of that. So without further ado, I'm going to go jump into a session, and I'm going to build on the fly with my Adobe Autonomous speakers, and hopefully learn how to, at the same time, produce a very good live video for you guys to kind of see what's going on. Now, I'm a beginner at this. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty green. So you might hear some of my words, verbiage, a little rookie, a little fresh as far as not understanding all the terminology. But as far as producing beats, I have done a handful of instrumentals, and I even did the track for the most curse words in one hip hop song. I did the beat for that one, but that was more of sampling things on the fly. And the theory that I have behind that is pretty much when you're sampling, and you're taking not only the instruments but typically also the sometimes even there's voice in there. There's exactly what was already released and has some type of ownership. And to say that there's no, part of someone, being able to come back with having a copyright on it or having some type of royalties already set up with that account, that's something you always have to look into, because some people, they already own that material, kind of like there was that lawsuit with Vanilla Ice and Queen. That's what I've always been trying to stay away from. So as far as making your own thing, that's pretty important. A lot of people say too, this new AI software is kind of a little bit giving the upper hand. As far as my personal opinion is, a hit is a hit, and it doesn't matter how it was made. What really matters is, do people like it? What type of feeling they're getting out of it? You can't really hold yourself back on trying to be stuck in the ways. They even go back to people with, the machines and the drum pads and the whole old setup that it was first originally done, and then they moved into the laptops and stuff. So people weren't really transitioning into that, and now everyone's working on a laptop. And AI is new. So as far as AI being able to bring anything to the table, I think people are also a little hesitant on wanting to take anything that's fresh and kind of, instantly jump on it and be a part of it. So me personally, one thing I'm trying to stay away from is not investing in myself. And I've been pretty much going all in with producing. That's my main goal. I want to succeed in my music career, and I think of it as a career. I've always thought of it as a dream to one day be the person on stage that's performing in front of millions of people, having the diamond, the platinum records on the wall. And I see other people that have been successful with it, so I know it's not impossible. The vision is there and it's doable. But I haven't gotten to that point yet, and the biggest probably opportunity I had was the Little Dickies professional rapper tour. I worked with Baby Easy E. I worked with Busy Bone, and I worked with Young Dirty Bastard for Wu Tang. I worked with Mad Child for Swollen Members, and countless, features with people that are bigger than me in general. But my goal is to one day have people trying to collaborate with me and saying the same thing. Uh, me being someone that's well known, and that's just been my main goal though, is to pretty much start performing in things like stadiums and get my name out there on festivals, big things. So these are some of the plugins that I'm using right now. Probably one of my favorites is going to be the Natonic. Pulling this out right here. I just got Reflections the other day, and something I'm really digging is like my game plugin. Just a bunch of chords that are created, and then you can bring in all these sounds. Just all these cool things. And guys, I'm going to jump literally right into this. I just been vibing out with this stuff like nonstop. My goal is to get some like modulator set up, with the plugs everywhere and a bunch of different effects and sounds going and just testing out some things. But for now, I'm just using with what I got, my tools. I'm trying to hold off on any more investing because as you guys can see right now, from just even my software in general, coming into now over here, all my loop packs, my melody packs, a lot of this stuff too is just from Unison. Unison does daily drops, so I highly recommend going checking out that website if you haven't already. That's a really powerful team to be a part of. They also got pages on their Discord, a bunch of different sections, self promo. That's also been really good with me lately, just connecting with new people, kind of trying to do a little bit more than what I'm used to, because before, marketing, it was like you could put up a Facebook ad or you could really just start face to face talking to people. And that's what I've been focusing on for the past about 10-15 years, is actually building relationships with humans, not just creating some bot algorithm inside of the internet to catch people in a web and hopefully they dig my music. I've also been establishing friendships and people that I respect have been also helping me out huge as far as being able to give me, some advice. So here's like a huge breakdown on everything that I've been using, guys. You have Doctor, which is just great. This one right here, you can put on a bunch of different things. You can put your chords, drums, melodies, vocals. And I've been mainly using it for like chords and adding just a little bit of something trippy, or lo-fi has been big for me, or some hip hop. I'm kind of going for that Flying Lotus, Captain Murphy, MF Doom style. The next I probably want to get is like the Super Villain pack. Some things, just to add to my arsenal. And I'm gonna go right into making a beat though, guys. I know I keep saying that, but of course procrastination, I am flawless with that. Speaking of which, is a good time to just stop in between this video. If you come this far, I really appreciate it. You can go right down. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. So, kudos for coming in this long. Obviously, you probably just getting into producing. More than likely, you're probably new, because if you're listening to me and you're not already like cringing and just want to turn this off, or you haven't already written some hate comments at the bottom, yeah, I get it. I am new to this. Obviously, you could tell too by the way that I'm phrasing everything. I'm a little bit hesitant to explain some things just because I know I'm not explaining it correctly, or the wording behind it. So, I do appreciate it, guys. I do want to point out though too, if you do need printing, I'm a father of 3 and a family guy. So when it comes down to the end of the day, a lot of people, they don't need beats, they don't need websites. I've built pages 80,000 plus for Swiss Army Knife, Zippo, done 15,000% increase for people on Amazon, eBay, just all with my own company, Worldwide Media. So if you guys ever need any printing done, I work with also the film industry, close to large corporations, franchises, Starbucks, Toyota, Land Rover, Pink's, Hot Dog, bunch of cool little places that work with me personally and know that they can trust me when it comes down to their printing. O'Neill's Surf Shop, all these little things you can check out on my Instagram at Worldwide Medias. But I don't want to take up too much time on that. I just want to point out, if you ever do need any merchandise, you just go hit me up. Over on social media is probably the easiest. Phone number even 805-843-6933, California. That's PST time. Getting back into what we were talking about though, subscribe to my channel, like the video, comment down below if you guys have any questions or you want to say something. If you want to even write something terrible about me and you know, some hate mail, that's totally cool too. I appreciate any type of traffic, honestly. So what am I looking for right now? I got all these things up here, and where are they located? We go into my track. I'm on my master. Automation and recording with automation, that's something I'm going to get into. So hopefully if you guys are trying to learn that today, I do a lot of sound engineering for recording. I've been doing that for about 10-15 years. And that's one of the biggest things is when I am recording, I want to make sure that I can basically utilize all the controls, but I can do it on the fly and record what I'm doing. So whatever that is, I can then add that to what I'm doing for my track. And basically what that is going to be called create automation clip. So using that was a big, huge help for me. You can pretty much automate your whole clip. And then if you really want to get technical, you can actually dive in and you can pinpoint certain things and then edit it within. I was really good with that on Logic Pro, but Fruity Loops has been pretty easy interface for me to understand. And the biggest thing I think I learned was being able to organize everything. I got a sensei, Young Use. He was teaching me that you pretty much want to be able to find everything that you're looking for, and you can't really just have too many things going on, especially if they're not even supposed to be in your folder. So like something I found was my downloads had a lot of stuff from my computer that shouldn't have been there because it's in my downloads folder, and that's located here. And that's one thing that I use sometimes if I want to go and just grab something from it. So I'm not wearing my glasses today, but I was able to find that. I made these into some pretty colors if I wanted. And I got a cool little plug kit. And then I made sure I added each little thing. They got a lot of extras, and pretty much you have a lot to work with. And what I've been liking to use the most, that I think is the easiest thing to get started with, is just grabbing like a loop and go from there. So let's see how deep we are in on this video so I can really keep an idea of this time. Let's go into screen sharing. Exit off that. Recording. Got a bunch of slaps. Inbox. We're in Zoom. Yeah, I don't see a timestamp. So I guess it doesn't really matter, guys. Well, going into it, I'm going to get off my internet first. So if my back speakers start crackling or anything, it's usually, oh shit, that's going to lose my recording maybe? Or not? I'm still there. That's crazy. Okay. That's a good thing. Hopefully it doesn't kick me out. Zoom's open. Okay, because I'm using the app. So guys, I guess I'm teaching you another thing here. I'm screen recording. I'm in my system, and I believe you guys can hear everything I'm doing. So let's see what I got here. I'm going to try and vibe out with you guys today, because yesterday, honestly, if you're receiving my beats that I'm working on right now, you know personally that I'm coming out with some fire beats that are just awesome. And I pretty much definitely didn't make an awesome beat yesterday. Not one that I'm like super stoked on. I was just vibing out to it. It was just kind of a cool vibe. And from what I've looked into is that pretty much you just want to keep producing as much as possible, because you got to stay in that zone of like working. You know, you're just constantly humming, constantly moving, and building and growing. And you can't really hold yourself back. You can't spend 6 months on a track and then you release it and you get no good feedback and no one's listening to it. It's because you've pretty much like lost your fan base there. You got to be constantly coming out with more material. You don't know what your fan base is really going to like. So in all reality, if you think it sounds good, I would pretty much just go with your gut heart feeling. And something I hate more too is, they say strike the iron while it's hot. So you don't want to wait too long while you're making your music, and then it turns into something where, you're no longer intrigued, or you're no longer feeling the vibe, because, you kind of lost all hope. Honestly, I feel sometimes that I just make a mix worse and worse and worse. I go to more studios. People promise me things like, we're going to make you sound like Dr. Dre's studio. We're going to make you sound like Eminem, and we're going to pretty much, give you the best of the best. It's not always the case, and you can't really rely on that. And the more they work on it, it's like the worse it gets. And then you get to a point where you're like, okay, just give me the track. Okay, I just need to get out of here, because it sounded way better when I was in my studio and I was just vibing to it. I enjoyed it. So I don't want to rant on that too long, but sometimes you can give your music to the wrong people who are just not at the right pace, and maybe they're taking too long and they're losing that excitement that you had in the beginning. So that's really important, to keep the energy flowing, and really strike while it's hot. So I had some cool loops there. Nothing that I really grabbed that I think is really cool right away. So let me keep checking it out. Yeah. Word selection. Let's go to downloads. Yeah, I like that. So let's go right into it, guys. What am I going to pull up? I want to pull up. I need to hide this. Let's hide that. So hide. Boom. All right, guys. So that's another thing. If you want to now have your screen open, I wouldn't recommend hiding these. That kind of could get a little tricky. I would just exit when you need it again, pull it back out. Hardest time I had was probably installing my plugin. So like I used my iLock key, and actually being able to say activate on it. Even though if it says it's active, that's different from activate. And that was the one thing that changed all of these to finally start working. Some people were noting, I think, on the setups that you just really needed to have your computer, if you're not giving it to multiple computers, or like different version downloads on that one version that you purchased, that's when the iLock comes in handy. But I noticed that if you go on there, it was actually pointing out that pretty much it has to go through that iLock. So I did download the software, or the manager, iLock license manager, which they have all the information. It walks you all through it. But yeah, you're supposed to read the instructions. I didn't read the instructions. I'm more stressed out. Spent maybe 3 hours trying to just install my Bass Dragon. And then now I have everything rock and rolling. And it was such a good feeling to finally get it all set up, knowing that, like, I didn't hold back, and I didn't like stop. I didn't get frustrated. I didn't try and get a refund because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I don't know what I'm doing, and I still figured it out. I'm pretty tech savvy though. I built, like I said, websites, 80,000 plus pages, CSV style, and I know my way around a lot of different softwares. But that being said, new into this, you could get a little lost pretty quick, especially since there's just not that many tutorials online on downloading them. So yeah, what I'd recommend is you literally just need to go through that PDF file that they provide, and that right there kind of like, made sure I did everything correctly. Signed in, yep, activated the code, yes, I did all this thing. And I think at like page 43 they had Fruity Loops, actual step by step. So yeah, just make sure you do it the right way, and read the instructions. Even though it's a lot of information, like these people spent so much time building it all. I'm an animator too. That's how I got the tracks with Busy Bone, Young Dirty Bastard, and Baby Easy, Baby Easy E3. I traded my animation work and was able to barter. And now I'm trying to actually get into the stage where I can barter my beats for some collaborations. I'll give them a nice beat pack so they can have that exclusives, worth possibly about $350 a beat is what typical going rate goes for most beats these days. So you times that by maybe a beat pack of 5, you're talking about $1,500 verse that you could possibly be giving someone. They can do what they want. Maybe they'll never even release it. Make sure maybe even you attach like a license agreement saying that at least they got to give you credit something like that, some type of terms if you are like giving away beats for a barter. But yeah, on good faith and pretty much just like a verbal agreement, that could be tricky. So what I would recommend if you are going to do like what I do is make sure you already have like the verse in hand, and make sure like they have just an open spot, so it's not something like you're going to send them an instrumental and now they got to record on. The hip hop industry has been just really shady, no pun intended, for me during my whole career. People like this local artist named Spins, he tried to take advantage of a situation where he he has a big name for himself, but all because it's all fake information. And he puts out that he works with all these big artists and tours all around, but really he's just some guy that's pretty much doing nothing but scamming people from what I've seen. And he basically said he had a verse lined up, and then when I contacted the person after paying him that we were going to be working together, he said that that guy backed out. So I immediately got a refund on it, paid the right person, got that collaboration, and that was with like a legitimate company. So you just got to be wary on who you're passing around a bunch of money to in the music industry these days, because it could turn into a really bad situation where now you're trying to fight back for your money. There's people who you thought you respected could be now your enemy. And when it came down to it, he was cussing me out and being racist and calling my family names because the PayPal dispute actually covered my MP3, which was located in the description. Since I didn't send them through like Western Union or a friends to friend or a MoneyGram, this is like a transaction for an actual business, business transaction, compared to a friends to friend situation where you're just transferring money. So you just have to understand that, an invoice should be done, description, and then, pretty much any bank's going to back you through a dispute. So yeah, if you're trying to handle getting your money back from a verse, I recommend going right to your bank if someone hasn't provided with that. Also, you want to make sure that you don't allow it to get up to about 90 days, because after 90 days, most of the time, the banks will no longer go back and dispute any of those type of transactions that were gone through, whether it was your credit card or debit card. So once again, I'm teaching you guys a little bit of business 101. I got about $600 back, and then that company gave me an animated video with Swollen members, Mad Child, and then they also banned him from Baxwar for the reason of him being just a crooked scammer. And then what's crazy is that my local Ventura County Music Awards, they actually like favor him and think he's like a big person, but in reality he's just a compulsive liar and a thief. So that's pretty crazy to think that hip hop could also be pretty deceiving. Also, I tried to work with people like Necro, and Necro ended up telling me to go F my Gma, because he had some bad business that was going through with a whole separate thing. And that's where something you're looking up to an artist that you kind of respect, and then you lose all respect for them because of how things end up turning out. And it was about, maybe a $2,000 collaboration that we were going to work on. And that didn't end up going through. So once again, you get all hyped up on something big. Obviously, it's not the Little Wayne to drink of some stepping stone that's going to boost my career, but it is in the direction that I did want to go and possibly meet the people that were a little bit of the influence in my career. Another one too, like I have the Guinness Book of World Records, the most curse words, the longest freestyle rap of 13.5 hours. And I met someone like Murs from Living Legends down at the Paid Dues, a festival, and I explained to him that I was going to go do that and get no communication with them. I exchanged the contacts, constantly keep in touch, nothing back. And then he goes and breaks the world record, and then he pauses and takes breaks, and they do it for like 24 hours or 30 hours or something, and completely switch up the game of the world record. And now, since this was unsafe, they no longer even allow people to continue a world record without doing stops. So mine, you couldn't have longer than a 2-second stop. I had like over 12 official witnesses, military, health official witnesses. I had people that had to do the stopwatch. I had people that had to be hip hop official witnesses, and along with also witnesses from the event. It had to be at a live place, and it had to be recorded live. So we went on what's called a live stream, and we had that on, I believe, Ustream it was, for a total of 13.5 hours. That was Guinness Book World Records, and it was a total of 3 world records just in that one. And other than that, guys, I'm trying here to make a beat, but I just wanted to let you know that the hip hop industry is not always what's up to be. So, you come into selling beats and stuff, though, just make sure what you're doing, circling back into all that. I'm surprised I was able to catch up to this, conversation. That could have been something in the comments. You guys wondering if I was ever going to get back to where I was going with this. but it's that pretty much you don't want to do any bartering with people without basically having that track in hand so that it's a good transaction. Give me 1 second. I gotta make sure I take care of this call. All right, so I'm gonna turn off my phone, lose the distractions, and getting back into this beat, guys. I already found my pattern. So I am moving. I am doing stuff, guys. I'm telling you. All right. All right. Yeah. So drop it in. All right. So pretty cool. Like my major influences are like Tupac and Biggie. Like that's what I started on, honestly. I couldn't name that many more artists. And then it got into things like Big L. Um, there's just Big Daddy Kane. You got someone like R.A. Rugged Man. MF Doom is probably one of my biggest influences. And then like, like um Gangstar, rest in peace, Guru. Just so many, dude, just countless amount of artists that just these days I just feel like you don't really get the same type of quality. Back in the days, money couldn't buy fame, and you really had to come with the quality, and you had to come with the dope ass music in order to be respected. And nowadays I just feel like, people can just pay for 10 million YouTube views that's available. You go online, you can see, hey, 10 million YouTube views for sale. You can see the fact of being able to just pay for everything. And that kind of defeats the purpose of people being able to decide on, what's actually popular, because now they're assuming that someone with a big number count is what they're supposed to be following. So people jump on these trends. And it's like, I've never heard one hit from Lil Yachty, but he's a big guy and he works with some big guys, and he's got a big budget. And man, 69 was probably the best example of some of the worst music I've ever heard in my life. Like you got to turn it off type of thing. But big following, big time. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to just go right into it. I'm taking my time. It was pretty close to matching up. I'm going to make this 18 bar. I was talking about Tupac earlier because what I appreciate about Tupac is he keeps it really traditional with the 316. A lot of his music would always be based around 8-bar hook and a 16-bar verse. And these days, people start talking about things like a riff, and you have all these different layers and structures of making beats, but really there's just no rules. So just throw all that out the window, and if you're vibing with it, let's just keep it that. All right. So I'm at 9. I'm going to double up, and I'm going to make sure it sounds smooth. So I have a little bit of a gap here, guys. What I'm doing is I'm actually taking my fingers and expanding it. I don't know if you see that. If not, I'm using a touchpad, and I'm just pretty much making it bigger or smaller, and that's going to be able to move it in different types of blocks. So if you want to move it in the microsecond, like that's pretty important. Like I said, all the things I've learned in sound engineering. I'm not going to glue it either. I want to see the spacing. So I just did a transition of that, and it looked perfect, flawless, seamless. I'm not going to paste it together or glue it. Sometimes I will do that. So now we got a total of 16 bars. It basically pretty much ends right here. And then I can do a hook. So what am I going to do for my hook? I don't know. Let's just start with a drum pattern on this first. So what I was told and what I tried to learn today is that if I grab my beat and let's just grab that melody, or would I want to grab the stem possibly? Let's see what happens. How about that? We're going to go in here, grab my dragon. Where are you at? It's easy to get lost in these things. Trying to open up my whole channel rack. This is where you guys can see I am still struggling, still learning. All right, make it bigger. So I only got one channel rack, it says. So let's go That's gonna be tough. How about I do this? I know I've already messed up something. Okay, guys. So like that just already tells you this guy maybe doesn't know what he's doing. All right, but I can tell you right away that what I'm going to come up with at the end is going to be pretty cool. So hopefully you're still sticking around. Check this out. I'm going to just go all the way into Cactus 131. Fuck it, dude. Restart. I'm not saving that. No way. Cactus 131. Throw it back in. Stuck on the tool. That's another thing I've noticed that I have a tough time with is like getting out of a tool. So if I'm like trying to do something and then I forget to like switch back, that's definitely gonna mess you up. So let's see how that seemed together. That sounds good. And I tried to do 16 bars last time. It was a little bit over because I stretched it. This is still over. That's okay. I'm gonna lay down some drums now. Let's look into the drum loops. And if you're once again thinking in your head, man, this guy's not even making his own drum loop. Listen, I've made my own drum loop and it is not easy. You'd want to go down to like something like this. You got all these little notes. Listen, I don't know music theory as well as maybe you did, doing all the tutorials in the world. For me, I'm more just like a sound guy. You know, I played the piano growing up, and I might not know everything about music and music theory and chords and the whole reading music notes, but what I can do is I can easily copy, paste, drag and drop. And these setups have literally made it just bulletproof, like flawless for me, to be able to do these kind of things and still get that quality, that industry quality that I've been looking for. That's really been just missing, honestly. So going into my plug section, guys, make sure you know where everything is, or that could make it pretty stressful. I need to drop this into the right place, which is going to be like my MIDI rack. I'm starting to call things by the right name. Let's see what happens if I drop this in my MIDI rack. Boom. That's the MIDI rack I wanted to see. So maybe you guys can drop that down in the comments too. Tell me why I couldn't see my full rack. Maybe I need to try and collapse it. And if I can collapse it, there it is. That's it right there. So I just figured out my own question, guys. All right, guys, never mind. Don't comment. If you already commented, whatever. Melodies. So I'm gonna grab that melody that I just checked out. And if you guys are here this, you know, you've been here this long, dude, kudos to you. I appreciate you. That's pretty cool of you. So we got to go find what we just grabbed, which would have been um grab 808. Let's find out what the note is too first. So that's what I learned today. Pretty much I want to go grab this right here, what I have, which is this section. I got the melodies. See where the melodies release. Melodies bundle. It's definitely out here there. See, once again, guys, being organized is really important. The way I could find is type it in real quick. This is called the cactus. So if I just typed in cactus, I kind of like that. Cactus doesn't even pull up because I used an A. And that's definitely not what I wanted. Now I need the cactus. There's a lot of melodies, guys. So like a lot of these have been free too, so that's pretty cool. Get what you pay for. Skies high. I'm looking for cactus. It's probably, my guess is, yep. So I should just be able to throw this in there. I need to delete this. How do I delete this one? How about we take it out? Delete it. So you guys on this too, I'm not gonna lie, I am just grabbing the info I thought I needed today to learn this, and it looks like I'm still learning it with you. And that's okay, because once I figure out what I'm trying to do right now, which is pretty much get rid of all these, I got to delete them. Yeah. I wonder how you delete this. You can't just click it and delete. That won't work. I know what to do. You restart it, just like I just did the last time to show you guys that I didn't know what I was doing. But we're going to do it a little bit smarter this time. I'm going to go into here, and I'm just going to delete it from there. And I'll pull up a brand new one. How about that? I'll show them who I'm working with. All right, so we got the cactus, this one right here, 131. Save it. I need that there for a while, because right now I need to go into the plug, and I want to bring back my bass dragon again. And then let's go here. All right, we got nothing in there. And then I come to this file, and my cactus isn't there anymore. So I go to Unison, and my cactus is going to be alphabetical. So we're looking for melody. And cactus, which it looks like I'm spelling it wrong now. So going back to my beginning, Unison, melody, all caps, melody L. And like I said, I'm not wearing my glasses right now. Oh, got someone here. Give me a second. Thank you. Yeah, you both. See what we got here. Rachel. Return to shipper. I don't know. Oh, squirrel. Let's try this again. Cactus just didn't pop up because it's alphabetical, you know? Okay. Throwing it in. That did nothing. Okay. Try this again. Well, that's not working. Drag and drop MIDI. And there's nothing there. That's pretty strange. Let's see here. I know it doesn't want to be a sample. We don't want a single sample. It's supposed to be floating up here. Let's see what happens when we just go like this. Well, that's what happened last time, and then I couldn't get in there. There we go. That's what it is. So I dragged my bass in there. Okay, I grabbed the plug. All right, guys, if you're following me, I'm talking about this icon right here. I'm trying to see if the cactus has a plug. Cactus has a plug. It's got the flute. So I want to build the bass around a bass sound. So I can randomize it now with that. I can go to my 808 hip hop. You guys are following me. All right, cool. And then if I want to go on my certain chord, I'm keeping it on my B because that's on the B. Randomize it. Now we're rocking, guys. I don't like it. Let's do another one. I don't like the rest. This is me vibing out. Randomize. Hit it again. Yeah, yeah. I like that. So now I can just drag and drop that supposedly. Let's see how that works. No, won't let me do it that way. Oh, okay. Oh, there it is. There it is, guys. Okay, so I just learned how to do that. I'm using the bass dragon, boys. And now what we do is we take this and you should be able to boom. So now here comes the drums, guys. This is what you were waiting for. Wondering why all this stuff's up here. Remember, we were doing the search. We'll exit off that. We're gonna go look for some dope drums. Where do we want to look? I would say go to your loops, guys. And then what are we looking for? Something at probably 131 BPM, but that doesn't matter really. Don't like focus on like that. I just downloaded a mathematical formula to create the proper tempo with using the adjustment of pitch to make your octave line up more to the BPM. For more information about that, just inbox me because I am definitely not your guy to ask about it. Um, drums. What do we got? Okay. Sounds pretty cool. I like the sweet tooth. Oh. I like it, but that's not what I'm going for. I'm going for just the drums. So like them, but not what I'm looking for. So let's get out of that folder, collapse it, go to another loop pack, and we got some drum loops, and go to more. And this looks like the same exact thing I just had open. So let's try and collapse it again. And the loop pack. So this is the Mangler drum loop pack. What's in here? Yeah, it's all the same. That's funny. So it looks like I downloaded a bunch of different loop packs, but they actually been giving me similar loops with inside of it. So that doesn't really help me out too much. But keep in mind, people, that a lot of this stuff has been free as well. So that's if you want to go create your own instruments and your own sounds, you could easily just go throw those in, throw them on something like your channel rack would probably be fine. So I'm just showing you like how you could create your own stuff if you wanted, and then like even too, you could do like every 8 steps. Yeah. If that's what you want to do. Me, I'm not doing that today, guys. Look at I'm probably less than like a few, maybe almost an hour in, but we're like getting pretty close to being able to just copy paste, boom. We got something going on, and we're gonna switch back into song. Yeah, I already hear it, guys. So if you hear those sounds in your head too, you're just waiting to see what I end up coming up with. We're right on the same page. You're on my wavelength. I am the creator. Unison. Update. Mangler bonuses. Empty. Doesn't help me. Let's delete that. So guys, as you see, I'm pretty much just going through so much stuff here. And honestly too, a lot of it, I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I'm learning as I go. So like I know right now with these knobs, this is something great if I wanted to go throw those in like um the plugin I was just using, that it required that type of file. I couldn't even tell you what type of file that is, or why there's a knob on it and what that means. Maybe in a little bit in the future on my later videos, I can have a better mindset of that. Drum kits, guys, drum kits. We're looking for loops, drum loops. Let's go to downloads. Let's go to the sauce. And let's see if I got any drums. The holy kit. Drum kit. See if I was left with any loops. Yeah, it looks like in the future you're gonna see me using a lot more custom beats by me making them myself right now for video purposes, and just to kind of catch you guys up on my YouTube channel. I'm just showing you simply all the breakdown on my Unison. A big one that I also got, like I was pointing out, would be the tonic or the no tonic, which I'm really big fan of. I'm not going for that style right now for trying to use it certain instruments on this track right now, but if I was, that would be something really cool. Abstract voice was a pretty cool one too. Pulling that one out. You could see how that would be a lot of fun. Guys, it's almost time. go back there. I'm gonna get out of this. Yeah, literally everything's custom at that point. That's crazy too. And like, let's go into Drum Monkey. How about that? Why not? That's what I think it's for. Honestly, the only thing I'd be worried about is the fact that still learning it. Like I want to say I used Drum Monkey the other day. We'll see what happens. Let's go back to Cactus. And that, of course, doesn't work again. So we go to the Unison and we want to search in there. We're going in the Unison again. And just to make sure I'm not fucking shit up, okay, went off the tag in the search. We go into here, we go into Unison, and we go into Melody. And then Cactus should be right here, which it's not once again. Gosh. So it doesn't let me drag those, but it should let me drag something like this. Because that like doesn't play, but let's see here. Hip hop, 8 bars. Drag it. Cactus. Sometimes you vibe out so hard you kind of lose. Kind of lose if it's good or not. I really like it though. Let's see what that does. So we'll go to audio stems, audio combines, grab the whole file. Boom. Full monkey, the full Monty. I'm gonna go into here, drag and drop. Oh, audio stems. Yeah, it's just so cool. Like, man, so much to learn on this. All right, so right here is where it's got to go into my hook. So I got to have something now to bring in a hook. And how am I going to do that? At the rate I'm going, I might as well just go pump out some fucking melody that I've never heard before, right? So I'm fine. We're gonna go to the flutes where we started. Uni, Melly, Cactus. we had the chords. The original chords for this were a see guys, I kind of know what I'm doing. B. And totally, dude, if you want to tell me what I'm missing here, like anyone that gives me like some real good honest feedback, I'm not gonna like shun it down. I'm not gonna like go there and argue with you or like, compete with the trolls. It's pretty much like I'm trying to learn as much as possible. So if someone gives me any tips or advice these days, I pretty much just take it with like a grain of salt, knowing that you know, do your own research, to each their own. And I'm the creator of my own world. So whatever I say goes technically. You could say whatever you want, but in my world, that's not how it works. And that's just me being real up front. I'm the freestyle pro, so I'm going to be straight with you guys. I got nothing here, right? So let's just randomize it. Let's see if that works. And what I want to do right now is I want to just hear my melody. So I got my wizard going. I'm going to my pattern. I don't even know what it created. Honestly, I'm a little lost on how this one still works because today I learned about my bass dragon. And as you can see, I learned enough to make where I came from. I want to say that how they worked on this one was it was like their first plugin or something like that. So as far as it being extremely advanced, I'm not sure if they really are advanced to the other ones. Like right now, I'm not sure why it's in a loop. Couldn't tell you. Pattern, songs, how about that? So yeah, let's just see like what this did. It won't let me like drag it in here, guys. If you can answer that question for me too, like that's an MP3 file. You think that'd be pretty straightforward, but no, that's not how it works. It won't let me just drag this MIDI. Okay, wait, drag and drop MIDI. So I think that's what I'm missing here is that since it's a MIDI file, that technically goes in my MIDI track. Because unlike the other ones, if I pull up my bass dragon, you can actually drag the files and the stems, and that's what I'm bringing into what you would call your playlist. Yeah, so right here in the corner, guys, this is going to tell you what everything is. So if you're looking for like what's going on, if you're hovering over something, this is my snap to grid. Where's my glue, my paint? I don't even know what that means. That's probably color. Or just like color it. What is paint? Like, where's my paint? You think it'd like paint some stuff. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with a lot of these. I have to learn the slice. That's pretty like universal. You cut some things. We cut an angle. Like that's pretty weird. I don't know how that would work. Test it out. Playback, cool. This looks like your tempo taper. I don't know if that's your metronome. That could have been bumping yesterday and why I couldn't fucking get rid of a fucking tempo. If you guys know where the tempo's at, you let me know. That's your metronome right here. So that was my problem. My metronome was on yesterday. Just a quick look at everything, and I would have been able to figure it out. So we had the wizard open, and he made this, and we want to bring it into our MIDI rack. It looks like because it's a MIDI. Where I was going with the bass dragon though, like I was saying, because there's my file. I've already been able to do this successfully. That's why I wasn't too scared to go in. Bass dragon into my bass dragon. Which is now like changed. And that's what I've noticed too, guys, is that they seem to like gray out at some point, which is kind of a little weird. I'm not sure what I did. These are like colorful, but like if I click on it now, my plugin's actually not popping up. So if I that's not really a problem right now because I already used the plugin. So technically I don't need it. If I open this, it should open up my bass dragon. There's my bass dragon. So yeah, what I was pointing out, guys, is that if you're dropping audio, that's what I got right over there. It's not a MIDI though, which if you have a MIDI file that can turn into, it looks like a bunch of different things. So audio or a MIDI, which is nice. But then what I did cool with my Monkey is that it had individual stems. So drag audio, and let's say we created something. So I have the ability to grab the stems of just the perp. All right, give me 1 second, guys. Hey, I'm on a live stream really quick, so I have to make this quick. Okay, I'll be done in a minute. Love you. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna have to end this early. But basically I went through everything with you. I'm gonna drop this track on 8/8, which is in a few days, on my first lo-fi tape, and I will be slowing down the BPM to make it more lo-fi style. So this is me tuning out, guys. Obviously, the video probably went on way too long, and you could see too, I need a couple more hours before really I'd be teaching you some things. If anything, you guys could probably teach me a little bit more. I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to stop here. Take care. Make sure you guys subscribe.